System override. System override.
Hello, welcome to this episode of TC Weekly's System Override. We are your hosts, Drew
and Caden. We are really excited about today's show, and we hope you are too. First off, Planet Progress, where they discuss the past, present, and future of the telephone.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Planet Progress. I am your host today, Alex Olson. In this episode, we'll be talking about a device that most people use every day, the telephone. The concept of what a phone is has come a long way, so let's start off by diving into the history. The history of the telephone is highly controversial due to an array of different ideas coming forward from different individuals all around the same time. The technology behind the original telephone was discovered by Antonio Meucci, while Alexander Graham Bell was the one who actually invented the first physical telephone. Other physicists who had minor roles in its inception include Charles Grafton Page, Johann Philipp Reis, and Cyril Duquet, who all added minor improvements to the original concept. Alexander Graham Bell showed off his first telephone at the Centennial Exhibition in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in June of 1876. His ideas were well received, and the showing served as a catalyst for future interest and development. So we know that the technology behind phones and the concept of what a phone really is has changed a lot over the years. Let's learn a little bit about the telephones of today in our next segment, the present. Just like many other forms of technological equipment, telephones progressively became both smaller and more efficient. The evolution can generally be benchmarked from the first rotary phone, to electronic landlines, to portable landlines, to car phones, to cell phones, and finally, smartphones. The increase in technology brought on many features that we know and love today, such as text messaging, high-speed internet, gaming, and even digital media. As of 2018, roughly 95% of Americans own a cell phone, while 77% own a smartphone. This shows a growing interest in the service a smartphone provides, and explain why we've even seen new devices like smartwatches take accessibility to a whole new level. Witnessing such a vast increase in capability definitely piques one's interest into where the technology is heading next. Let's look into that a little bit with our final segment, Future. Based on the changes we've seen already, we can assume that smartphone technology will probably gravitate towards ease of use and longer battery life. The new Google Glass, followed up with technology from Snap, ODG, and Sony, serves as a perfect example of these consumer desires manifesting right before our eyes. New wireless charging methods have already been implemented in many devices and is also newly compatible with the more efficient glass-ion batteries. Certain tasks and apps can drain a smartphone faster, so it's promising to learn that companies are focused on giving the consumer more battery life. With so many of us owning smartphones, it's exciting to be able to experience firsthand this increase in something that is such a large part of most of our lives. Thank you for stopping by to learn about the telephone. I'm Alex Olson, and we'll see you next time, here on Planet Progress.
Well, I do have to say that episode was buzzing with excitement.
That was a pretty lame joke. But on the brighter side of today, at NWTC in the front lounge, there will be free popcorn while supplies last. Get some before they run out.
I might have to snag some after this. All right, next up is Music for the Soul, where she'll tell us about the 1920s blues and the people who made it popular.
Jazz is such a huge part of African American history. It proves that through the toughest times, people can come out the other side stronger. Welcome to Music for the Soul. Chicago has played a huge role in the development of urban blues. In the 1920s and 30s, Memphis Minnie, Tampa Red, Big Bill Brunsey, John Lee Williamson, Sonny Boy were very popular in Chicago at the time. In the 1920s, country blues began to emerge from spiritual songs, often heard among field workers in the southern states of America, where blues began its journey. There were no electric instruments at the time, so they used whatever instruments were available. They often used a guitar or an out-of-tune piano for performances. They didn't have any music knowledge prior to this, so they would usually play by ear, like folk musicians around the world. When they used guitars, they were usually made using whatever materials were available, like a metal cigar box. Some people even used their wooden shack or a plank of wood or the sound box for simple blow. Here's a little history on some of the main artists that made blues what it is today. Blind Lemon Jefferson was born Lemon Henry Jefferson. He was born on September 24th, 1893. And passed December 19th, 1929, when his car got stuck in the snow in Chicago and he tragically died of a heart attack. He was an American blues singer and guitarist from Texas. He was one of the most popular blues singers of the 1920s and has been titled Father of the Texas Blues. Charlie Patton, who is also known as Charlie Patton. He was born in 1891 and passed away on April 28, 1934. He passed away of a heart condition and failing health managed to record a song called "Oh Death." He was an American Delta blues musician. He is considered by many the father of the Delta blues and is credited with creating an enduring body of American music and personally inspired many Delta bluesmen. Arthur Blind Blake, also known as Blind Blake, was born 1896 and passed December 1st, 1934. He was an American blues and ragtime singer and guitarist. He is known for a series of recordings at Paramount Records between 1926 and 1932. And the rest of his life is a mystery. The reason his life is mystery is because even his birthplace is being disputed by Paramount Records. Also, how he passed is completely unknown, and his name isn't even known to be true. Bessie Smith was born April 15th, 1894, and she passed away September 26, 1937. She was an American blues singer who was nicknamed the Empress of Blues. Smith was the most popular female blues singer of the 20s and 30s. She is often viewed as one of the greatest singers of her era. Her career faded, and she passed away in an automobile accident in 1939. Ma Rainey was born April 26, 1886, and passed away December 22, 1939. She was tagged as the mother of blues. She is the earliest link between the male country blues artists that roamed the back roads of the South. She retired from performing and returned to her home in Columbus, Georgia, where she ran 2 theaters. In 1939, she sadly passed away of a heart attack. These singers were the main people that helped to make blues in the 1920s as popular as it was. I hope you learned a little bit of background on these artists. Next week, we'll go over jazz and the people that made jazz what it is. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Music for the Soul.
That was a good lesson on blues in the 1920s. I may just have to look into it myself.
Get ready for this. Tomorrow, October 10th, is class registration at NWTC. If you're joining us again next semester, be sure to sign up for your course classes.
I'll be sure to get that done when I have a free minute. Now I'm getting hungry. I kind of wish I knew a good place to go and get food when all this is over.
Well, don't leave just yet. I hear the 4 food guys have found just the place for you. They go to Hansen's this time around. Let's check it out.
What up? We're the 4 food guys.
And
What up? We're the 4 food guys.
we review the best foods restaurants have to offer.
So you don't have to.
This week we're going to Hansen's Dairy and Deli. Alright, so we're going to Hansen's Dairy and Deli today. They're known for their selection of ice cream, but they also have subs, pizza, and fried chicken, so lots to choose from. Alright guys, we're here at Hansen's. We're gonna see what they have on the menu.
Feasting's on the menu. For to go, huh?
Alright, so we just left Hansen's, and now let's jump into the review. Alright guys, we're back from Hansen's Dairy and Deli. When we walked in there, we didn't know what we were going to get, but we got all different sorts of things, from fried chicken to pizza to ice cream to soups. And I have to say, everything was pretty good. The chicken was golden brown and crispy, and you could just see the steam coming out of it. And then the pizza was, even though it was thin crust, it was nice and filling for all 4 of us. And for the ice cream, there's about over 10 different flavors, and we all really got to try something new and different. All right then, Matt, tell me what you thought about Hansen's.
You know, I really like Hansen's. I like that type of atmosphere. And the price was pretty low for how much food you got, which I'm a big person on price. So I would rate Hansen's 3 out of 4 food guys.
All right. Yeah, it was like a small local little restaurant. Everything was pretty cheap, and the pizza was a decent size. I don't know. I wasn't like too fond of it. It was good. It was a little burnt, so I was like a little iffy about that. I think it was worth it overall, but I'd still have to give it like a 2.5 out of 4.
For my review of Hansen's, I'll have to give it a 3 out of 4 food guys. The atmosphere was nice, the food was fresh, and the price was pretty good. It just, you know, some of the food didn't really reach up to where I would give it a 4 out of 4.
I'm gonna give Hansen's a 1.
Oh,
food
are you
guys.
serious?
I honestly wasn't really impressed with it. I mean, the food was good, serves good and everything, but kind of just tasted like cardboard pizza you get out of freezer aisle, honestly.
Frozen pizza.
That's honestly how it tasted. Like, I just wasn't really impressed.
Upset of the year right there.
Upset.
All right then guys, just a reminder, we're the 4 food guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Well, I guess I know where I'll be going after all this. That sure made me hungry.
Don't forget to take me with you. That brings us to the end of our show. Thank you for watching along with us, your hosts,
Caden.
and Drew.
Make sure to tune in to TC Weekly System Override next Tuesday at 3 p.m.